So finding Sukhasana pose, crossing your legs at the shins. It's a little bit more, it's not quite as comfortable as like a crisscross applesauce, you know, like a little kindergarten pose here. Sukhasana is the yoga pose where you have your shins crossing right around that, right underneath the calf. So it's a little less comfortable. But it also forces a little bit of a stacked pelvis. And if you have a really open lotus, you are welcome to take these first few breaths in your lotus as well. Oh, I'm gonna mute y'all, by the way. I didn't do that before. But if you need me, please feel free to unmute and talk to me. Just allow your hands to lightly rest. We're going to do this little breathing exercise today. It's 10 breaths to start our practice. And there's a little mudra, a little hand variation that goes along with each breath. So for the first breath, I want you to bring your left thumb and your left index finger together. Breathe in deeply. And exhale deeply. Second breath, thumb and middle finger together on your left hand. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Left thumb and ring finger together. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. Left thumb, pinky finger together. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. Left hand comes to your belly. You're going to hold it there for the rest. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. Number 6. Right thumb and index fingers together. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. Right thumb, middle finger together. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. Right thumb, ring finger together. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. Right thumb, pinky finger together. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. Right hand comes on top of your heart. Inhale deeply. 3 breaths here. Exhale it all the way out. Again, inhale fully. And exhale fully. Last one, inhale fully. And exhale fully. Start to walk your fingertips forward. Allow your head to drop. Find a little left and right movement. Trying to find a little opening along your low back, those SI joints. I'm going to walk those fingertips all the way over to your right side. And reaching your hand straight over to the right. Trying to keep your left hip grounded onto the mat. Come back in through center. And as you exhale, over to the left. Walking those fingertips all the way to the left. Right hip still grounded on the mat, feeling a stretch along that right side of your low back. Bring your hands back in through center. We're just gonna roll over those shins and find hands and knees. So bring your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Inhale, drop your ribs, tilt your pelvis up, tilt your chin up. And as you exhale, round your back, find your cat. Inhale again, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Neutral spine, send your right hand forward, send that left leg back. Spin the inside of that left thigh up to the sky. Inhale it here, exhale, round it in, elbow to knee. Inhale it long. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale it long. Exhale, pull it in, hold it here, elbow to knees, really squeeze, really engage that whole front body, round your back just like cat. Inhale it long, reach back, grab that left foot with your right hand and kick. Send everything long, right hand forward, left foot back, and replace your right hand down, left knee down. Inhale into your cow, arching your back. And exhale, rounding your back, tucking your chin. Neutral spine, send that left hand forward, thumb is up, bicep right next to your ear. Right leg goes back, spin the inside of that right leg up. Closing off your inner thighs, so scissoring your legs. As you exhale, round it in. Inhale, send everything long. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, send everything long. Exhale, pull it in, hold it here. Elbow presses into your knee, knee presses into your elbow, really engaging that whole front body, rounding your back. Inhale, long. And we'll bend that right knee, reach back, grab your left foot, cinnamon, not a good time, and kick your right foot into your hand. Send everything long, and we'll bring that left hand down, right knee down, send it back, downward facing dog. Pedal out your heels. Send your left heel onto the mat. And just bring that right foot to the back of that left leg and just find a static calf stretch on that left side, rooting your hands down into the mat, actively pushing forward, melting your heart back. And switch, right heel comes down, left foot goes behind that right leg. Pull your navel in, find some opening there. And then bring your left foot down into its footprint. Inhale forward. We're going to take a few vinyasas here just to stretch, warm up the shoulders. So exhale halfway down. Inhale, push your heart through, upward facing dog. Exhale it back, downward facing dog. 3 more. Inhale, roll it forward to plank. Exhale, lower halfway, elbows track back. Inhale, push through your hands, lift your chin, and exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more, inhale it forward, exhale it down. Inhale, push it through, and exhale, send it back. 1 more, inhale it forward, exhale it down. Inhale, push it through, and exhale, send it back. Walk your hands back to your feet. We're going to take a little variation on our ragdoll today. So nice big generous bend to your knees. Make sure your ribs are just laying on the tops of your thighs. And you bring the tops of your hands down to the mat. You're going to press your thumbs and your pinky fingers down to the mat. Head is heavy. See if you can spin the soft part of your elbows forward. So really finding a wrist stretch here. And breathe, and then start to rock a little left and right. So the weight is really in your feet. There's not that much weight in your hands. And release your fingertips to the mat. Heel toe your feet together. Inhale, push through your feet, reach it all the way up. Grab your left wrist, reach it tall, and we'll bring those arms over to the right. Shift your hips to the left. So opening up that left side, come back through center, switch. Grab your right wrist, try to touch the ceiling, and then bring it over to the left as you push your hips to the right. Nice big opening on that right side. Legs stay strong. Come back to center. Release your hands behind your back. Start to push your hips forward. Lift your heart, lift your chin. Just find a little baby back bend. And then we'll come back up to center. Reach your arms up and dive it down. Walk your hands forward. Find your downward facing dog. Left heel heavy on the mat. Lift your right leg up. Open up the hips. Stack your right hip on top of your left. Maybe point those right toes. And then if you want to bend that right knee or rotate it up even more, go ahead. Shoulders stay square. Still pushing forward with your hands. Inhale it here. As you exhale, right knee to left elbow. Shift your shoulders over your wrists. Again, inhale it back. Open up the hip. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale it back. Open up the hip. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Hold it here. Without letting your right foot touch, just slide your right knee over, down to your left wrist, then over to your right wrist, then up to your right elbow, left wrist, right elbow, left, lower, right, lift, left, lower, right, lift, two more, left, lower, right, lift, left, lower, right, lift, send it back, three-legged dog, and release it down. Root your right heel down into the mat as you lift your left leg high. Arms are strong, navel pulled in, ribs pulled in. Point your left toes, strong, straight left leg. Stack that left hip on top of your right. Shoulders are square. And then go ahead and bend that left knee, rotate it up even more. Finding a really nice juicy stretch along the back of that left leg, right leg. On your next exhale, left knee over to your right elbow. Send it back, open up the hip. Left knee over to your right elbow. Send it back, open up the hip. Left knee over to your right elbow. Okay, slide that elevator down to your right wrist, left elbow. Swing it over, lower it down. Left wrist, left elbow, right elbow. Wrist, left, lift, right, lower, left, lift, right, lower, left, wrist. We just got two more, right, lower, left, lift, right, lower, left, lift, send it back. Three-legged dog, and release it down. Bend your knees forward and just float to the top of the mat. Separate your feet, hip distance apart. Pick up the soles of your feet, slide the palms of your hands underneath, find a little gorilla pose. And maybe pedal out your knees. Bending one knee and then the other. Maybe stepping on your hands, a little wrist massage. Release your hands, heel toe your feet together. Inhale, push through your feet, reach it all the way up. This time, interlace your hands, release your index fingers. Strong legs, lift it all the way up. Try to touch the ceiling, and then we'll come over to the right. Shift your hips to the left. Inviting that left hip forward, rolling your left shoulder back, squeezing that right side of the waist. Holding it here for 3, 2, 1. Come back up. Reaffirm the strength of your arms as you lift them tall. And start to squeeze the left side of your waist. Draw a line over to the left. Invite that right hip forward and roll that right shoulder back. Ribs are pulled in. Strong legs. Come back up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, chair pose. Sitting low into your legs. Pulling your belly button in, sit a little bit lower, sit your hips back. Maybe lifting all 10 of your toes. And then exhale, fold. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Drop that left knee and sweep your arms up, finding Anjaneyasana. Keeping your palms together. Bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck and just rest your head on your hands. Finding a big opening along your shoulders and your thoracic spine. Those hips keep moving forward. And then release your hands, frame your right foot and shift your hips back. Find your hamstring stretch, your half splits. Flexing your toes to your nose. Bend into that right knee. We're going to step your left foot forward to meet your right. Inhale, push through your feet, reach it all the way up. And exhale, sit back into your chair. Shifting those hips back. Using the strength of your upper back to lift your heart. Pull your belly button in. If it feels okay, you can look up. If not, feel free to keep a neutral neck. And fold. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Drop your right knee and sweep it up. Keep your palms together. Bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck and just rest your head on your hands. On your wrists, I should say. And then release your hands, frame that left foot, and shift your hips back. Flex your left toes and fold. Bend into that left knee. We're going to step your right foot forward. Inhale, push through your feet, reach it all the way up. Exhale, chair again. This time we're going to twist to the right. Left elbow outside of your right knee. Roll that right shoulder back. Thumbs come to your sternum. If you want to open up your arms, you can. If you want to drop your hands and find a side crow, do it. Look forward, lean forward, pick up those toes. Maybe finding your Ekapada. If you're in an inversion, we'll come on back and we'll twist the other way. Roll that left shoulder back. Thumbs press together at your heart. You can open up your arms or you can drop your hands. Find some air, shifting it forward. 3, 2, 1. Come on back. Inhale, center, and exhale, fold. Inhale into your half lift, head up, find some space. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. Again, inhale, head up, find some space. And exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. One more, inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, plant your hands, step or float, chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale, push your heart through your arms, upward facing dog. And exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg up. We're gonna open up the hip again. This time, option to flip your dog. You can take this all the way into your full wheel. If you're nice and open, dropping your right hand, flipping your left. Taking any variation you like, and then we'll all come back and find that three-legged dog and step your right foot between your hands for warrior one. Reach it up. Interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift, and exhale, humble warrior. Hinge over that right leg. Arms come overhead. You can just rest that right shoulder right on your right knee, or you can start to work it inside. Still shifting your hips to the midline. Push through that right heel. Reach your arms all the way up. And exhale, hands find the mat. Maybe you take a little chin stand. Maybe you come onto your hands. Move through your vinyasa, whatever that looks like. Take your time. And it's your practice, you know. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Inhale your left leg up behind you, open up the hip. We're gonna flip your dog if you want to, maybe taking it all the way into your full wheel. Flipping it back, finding your three-legged dog, and step your left foot between your hands. Warrior one, sweep it up. Interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lifts your heart, and then we'll hinge over that left leg. Arms come overhead. Left shoulder, maybe it rests on that left knee, maybe it works lower and deeper. For 3, for 2, for 1, push into that left heel, arms come all the way up. Find your warrior one first. Then hands find the mat. Any vinyasa you like, maybe find a little air, take it upside down. Chin stands, you know, of course, if space allows, where you are. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, float to the top of the mat. Lengthen and do your half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, push through your feet, reach it all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're gonna sit and cross your left ankle over your right knee. And then sit a little bit lower. Flexing your left foot. Really trying to work that left knee down. So this is a pretty meaty hip stretch. So move carefully. It can be unstable, but the further you sit your hips back, the more stable it becomes. Hands are pressing at heart center. And then we'll stand up and just lift that left knee. Hands stay at heart center. Keeping that left knee hip height, we're going to externally rotate it as much as you can. I don't have a very big one. Right? One day, maybe even getting that left heel closer up towards your knee, as high as your knee. Holding it here. Lifting that left knee a little bit higher. And then we're going to start to internally rotate that femur. And start to maybe even pulse it. Trying to bring that left knee out, or left heel out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, come back to center. Hips are even. Bring your right hand to your right hip. We're gonna reach down, grab that left big toe. Stand up tall, and then maybe straighten that left leg. Open it out to the side, heart is lifted, gaze to the right. Come back to center. Let it go, don't let it go anywhere. 3, 2, and 1. Left foot comes down. We're going to cross that right ankle over your left knee and start to sit. Bring your hands to heart center. And that right hip might be talking already just from doing that. Sitting your hips a little bit further back and a little bit lower. Don't worry if you wobble, if you shake, right? That's good. Those are your little stabilizer muscles. Those are the ones we want to work on. And then we'll stand up and bring that right knee as high as your hips. Try and even out those hips. Right heel right under that right knee. And we'll start to externally rotate. So try to bring that right heel up. Holding it here. Try not to let that left hip, bump out like you're waiting at a bus stop. Keep it nice and engaged. And then we'll start to internally rotate it. So lifting that right heel out to the outside. Ooh, and pulse it, pulse it, Pulse it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it to center. Bring your left hand to your left hip. We'll grab that right big toe, stand up tall, and maybe start to kick it out. And open it out to the side. Heart is lifted. Look to the left. Ooh. See, I felt that too. And we'll come out to center. Let it go. Kick it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right foot comes down. Oh. Inhale your arms up. We're going to separate those feet, hip distance, and sit down into Malasana. So bring your elbows to the insides of your thighs. Start to send your right arm long to the right. Bring your left arm up. And find a twist here. If you know that you're pretty open and you want to bring your hands behind you for a bind, you can do that. Otherwise, just stay in your nice simple twist. If you're bound, bring it out. We'll come back to center. And we'll find the other side. Left arm long to the left, right arm up to the right. Start to maybe reach your hands behind your back. You certainly don't have to. Just finding any variation that works for you. And then we'll send everything long. Bring your hands back to center. Plant your hands. We're going to come into an optional crow pose. So either find a half lift or bring your knees into your armpits. Look forward, lean forward. Pick up your heels. Pull them in tight. Really start to feel the weight in your fingertips for 3, for 2, for 1. Chaturanga as you exhale. Push it through for your upward facing dog. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up behind you and exhale right foot between your hands. Inhale, warrior 1. Nice simple flow. 2 rounds. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill it down. Vinyasa, any way you want it to look. Pushing it through and sending it back. Inhale your left leg up behind you and exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, warrior 1. And exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, windmill it down. Vinyasa, any way you want it to look. One more, just like that. Inhale, right leg up, nice and simple. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, warrior 1. And exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. Whoop. And exhale, hands find the mat. Vinyasa. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, warrior 1. And exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, windmill it down. Vinyasa. Holding it here. I think I didn't do the left leg on the second side of the second round, did I? All right, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, warrior 1. And exhale, warrior 2. That happens. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, windmill it down. All right, this time I really mean it. We'll take a few breaths, rest after this one. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Did I say a few breaths? I meant 1. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Holding it here, just bring that right knee in. So really starting to push the earth away. Finding a cat back Don't let that right foot touch. You're just gonna tap your right knee between your hands and then squeeze it right back up. And then lower it down and then squeeze it right back up. Good. 3, 2, 1. Send it back. Right side plank. Right hand down, left hand up. You can bring that left leg up. Reach your left fingertips forward if you want. And then bring your left foot into a tree pose. Hold on to that tree pose, don't let it go. Bring your left hand down, find your plank with the tree. Lower to chaturanga, still holding onto your tree. Push it through, upward facing dog, still holding onto your tree. Send it back, downward facing dog, still holding onto your tree. Bring your left foot down. Inhale it forward to plank. Shoulders over your wrists. Without letting that left foot touch, you're gonna round your back and bring that left knee all the way in. Tap your left knee between your hands, squeeze it up. Lower it down, squeeze it up. Got 3, 2, 1. Send it back. Left side plank. Left hand down, right hand up. Start to send your right fingertips forward. Lift that right leg. Bring your right foot into tree. And then bring your right hand down. Find your plank with your tree. Chaturanga with your tree. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Release your right foot down. Lower your knees together, ankles together. Just bring your hands back by your feet and take 2 breaths here. Relaxing your shoulders, just let them hang. And then we'll come right back. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your hands and sweep it up for crescent lunge. You can just leave your hands on your hips. So bring your hands to your hips. We're gonna bend that left knee, tap it down, and squeeze it up. Bend it down so that your goal, keep moving, is to keep a neutral pelvis. So that really requires that you bend that left leg. You're just going straight up and down. There's no forward and back movement. Good. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step into chair. Arms come up. Sit a little bit lower. Sit a little bit lower. Coming into your turbo chair. Reaching your fingertips forward. Thighs are parallel to the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push through your heels. Send your hips forward and dive your hands back. Find a little back bend here. Bring your hands back to heart center. Stand up tall. We're going to step it right back. So left foot goes back. Find your crescent. And we're going to do it again. Tap that left knee down. Lift it up. Tap it down. Lift it up. Keep it moving. I know I froze there for a minute, but I didn't actually freeze in real life. I was moving, even though my screen was frozen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step in the chair. Stay nice and low. Sit your hips low. Reach your hands forward. Bring those thighs parallel to the ground. So use your arms. Reach it forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, push your hips forward. Dive your arms back. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to bring that left elbow next to your left hip. Pick up that left foot. Reach your right arm up. This is about as close as we're gonna get to a quad stretch right now, which I know your quad would really like to be stretched. And start to kick that left foot into your left hand and start to reach your right hand forward. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Don't let that left foot touch. We're gonna bring that left arm underneath your right. Bring that left knee over your right. Come right directly into our eagle. Sit it low. Lining up elbows and knees. Start to hinge at your hips. Start to unwind that left leg, send it straight back. Find your eagle airplane. Heart reaches forward, arms go back to your hips. Soften that right knee, we're gonna step it back. Find your crescent lunge, reach your arms up. And bring both hands down to the inside of that right foot. Drop your left knee and point your right toes out. We're gonna find lizard pose. Coming down onto your forearms. Hands can come together. If you need to round your back to get your forearms down, then don't come down to your forearms. You can just stay up on your hands. And maybe you place your left hand down below your left shoulder. Bring your right hand to that right thigh. If you're pretty open here, you can start to push that right leg away, but be careful, right? Maybe you just lay it there and you don't push at all. And just go ahead and let that left hip slide underneath you. If it's available to you, reach your right hand back, pick up your left foot, and then rotate your heart up to the sky, maybe pointing your chin up as well. Release that left foot. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Lower down to your forearms. We're gonna step that right foot back to meet your left and find a forearm plank and start to tap your right knee down and your left and your right and your left. Keep it moving. Trying to keep your ribs pulled in. Keeping those shoulders lined up right over your elbows, so resisting the temptation to lift that booty up. Going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk your feet in for dolphin. Heels are on the mat. Actively pushing your forearms down and forward. Pulling your belly button in if you want to take this upside down. We'll be here for about 6 breaths. You can take it as a headstand. If you want, you can take it as a forearm balance, if that's the kind of thing you're into. Maybe you do little jump switches. Right, don't be in a hurry to get those legs together. So whenever your legs are together in your forearm balance, it's going to be as unstable as you're ever going to be. So feel free to keep a little split going. Stag legs is super stable. If you're in a headstand, start to make your way down. And we'll just take 2 breaths here. If you're not in a headstand, you don't need to rest and bring your head down to the mat. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Curl your toes under. Send your hips high and back. Maybe do a few little neck rolls. Maybe pedal out your heels. Maybe shift your hips left and right. Now that you're nice and open, really taking advantage of this resting pose, right? The traditional yoga resting pose. And step your left foot between your hands, moving on. Come up to Crescent Lunge. But you can just leave your hands on your hips. So nice neutral pelvis, right? Shouldn't be pointed out. Your ribs shouldn't be sticking out. So nice and neutral. Just start to bend that back knee, tap it down. and lift it up, right? Nothing else changes. We're not moving front and back. We're just riding the elevator up and down. That left knee never goes over towards your toes. It's just bending down into a 90 degrees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna step into chair. Reach your arms up and then start to reach them forward. Getting those thighs really nice and parallel. Ribs should be touching your thighs, but not resting on them. Reach it forward, sit a little bit lower. Those toes should be light. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push through your heels. Send your hips forward. Dive your arms back. Bring your hands back together through heart center. Sit into your chair and step it right back. Right foot, back of the mat. Find your crescent. You can bring your hands to your hips if you prefer, or you can leave them at heart center. Just start to bend that back knee. Tap it down, lift it up. Keep it moving. Got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it low. Step it back. Reach your arms forward. Reach it forward. Reach it forward. Sit your hips back. Work for it. This is our last turbo chair. Get those thighs really parallel to the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Send your hips forward. Dive your hands back. Come back. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to bring that right elbow next to your right hip. Pick up your right foot. Knees back together. Send your left hand up. Start to kick that right foot to your right hand. Start to reach your left fingertips forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way into your eagle. So that means that your right arm is going to come underneath your left. Your right leg is going to go high over your left. Sit it low, sit it low, sit it low. Start to hinge at your hips. We're going to unwind just your legs. Send that right leg back. Find your eagle airplane. Unwind your arms, send them back. Heart stays lifted, going forward. Soften that left knee, step it back, crescent. Reach your arms up. And exhale, hands find the mat. Our last vinyasa. Lower halfway. Push your heart through and send it back. Inhale your right leg up. We'll bring that right knee just behind your right. We're coming into pigeon, so don't worry. Right knee behind that right wrist. Right foot off to the left. Walk that left foot back. Oh, I forgot to do, take it back. We're coming into lizard with your left foot forward. Drop your right knee. Start to point those left toes out. Sorry about that, guys. But we don't want to be walking out of here all wonky. Come down onto your wrists or come down onto your forearms. Maybe, maybe not, right? If that doesn't work for you, don't do it. And just you can let that left knee just roll out. And if you're down on your forearms, plant your right hand right below your right shoulder. Bring your left hand to the inside of that left thigh. Maybe start to push it away from you. Be really careful here. And then we'll bring that left hand behind you and pick up your right foot and find your quad stretch coming into crab. Rotating your heart up, maybe your gaze up. I'm trying to find a big stretch along that right psoas. And then release your foot And we'll just come into pigeon from here. If you love to get into it from down dog, feel free, but otherwise just heel toe that left foot over to the right, and we'll do our left side first. Sitting up nice and tall. Make sure your hips are square, that you're not collapsing either on that right hip or onto that left hip. You don't have to fold, but if you want to fold, start to come down onto your forearms. Using your breath to find some surrender. Whatever sensations you're feeling, whatever is talking, you know, using your breath to send it some love. And we'll bring your hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to curl those right toes under and send that left leg back and just make some nice big opening of the hip, maybe closing it down. And then we'll send that left heel heavy to the mat. We'll lift up your right leg and bring your right knee behind your right wrist, sending your right foot over to the left, and then starting to walk that left foot back, sitting up nice and tall. Making sure those hips are nice and even, pushing into the top of that left foot. And then hinging at the hips and coming down onto your forearms. Really feeling yourself sink into the earth. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to curl those left toes under and send your right leg back. And just start to make some nice big movements. Come all the way forward. And just lower down onto a belly down Shavasana. Send that right arm long to the right. Push into your left hand. Roll onto your right hip. And bring that left foot behind you. For a shoulder stretch, be careful with this one too. I always say there are some muscles and joints that hold a grudge. Shoulders, hamstrings, and groin muscles. More than any of the others. They will not forgive you if you overstretch them. Come back, roll through center. We'll send that left arm long. Bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder. And roll onto your left hip. Bring your right foot behind you. And get a stretch along that left shoulder. And then we'll come back into center. I'm going to bring your hands, your fingertips out, like right underneath your elbows. So if you bring your elbows out wide, and we're just going to roll 3 times. Start to push into your hands, roll your shoulders back, and just find a big opening on that front body. And as you exhale, bring it back down. Again, inhale, roll the shoulders back, push into your fingertips, feel your shoulder blades squeeze on your back, feel that big front opening, and then lower it down. We've got one more. Roll your shoulders back, push into your fingertips, and then release it down, and make your way to a seat. we're gonna find a double pigeon pose. So this one's a pretty intense hip stretch. I'm not a fan, not gonna lie. I don't have very open hips. So I'm in the this is excruciating club. So if you're with me, your job is to just think nice thoughts, right? It's to stop clenching your teeth when you get into this. So I've got my right shin parallel to the front of my mat, just dangling that left foot over the side of my right knee. Some of you nice open people, you'll actually have your shins stacked, one on top of the other, and you can start to lay it out. If you're in my club and you look like this, you can bring your fingertips behind you, roll your shoulders back, lift your heart, close your eyes. And with each breath, you're just gonna try and breathe some surrender into your hip joints, right? Tell them they're safe. They can let go. And then in whichever variation you're in, we're just gonna lean back on those hands. And bring your feet mat width distance apart. Just come onto your forearms and rotate those knees left and right. So you're trying to work those femurs inside of your ball and socket of your pelvis, but you're also giving a little bit of release to those muscles that surround your SI joint. They can get pretty angry too. And then we'll come back up to seated and bring your left shin parallel to the top of the mat. We're gonna dangle that right foot off the side. And then choose your variation. So whether you are folding forward or whether you're bringing your hands back, pick your stretch, close your eyes, lift your heart. And just take some deep breaths, right? Each inhale, a little space. Each exhale, just letting go. Letting go. We can't control everything. There are some poses in yoga that teach us lessons. And these more yin-y stretching lessons teach us about letting go. And then we'll start to work our way back onto your forearms, bringing your feet mat width distance, and again shifting your knees left and right. Then we're going to start to work it all the way down onto your backs. And the next time your knees go to the right, they're just going to stay there. You can bring your arms overhead. If it's available to you and you want to cross that right ankle over your left knee to get a little bit more of a stretch here, you can. Feel it right along the top of that left hip. If that's too much, or if you feel it in your left knee, then just take your foot off. And if your ankle is over your knee, we'll let it go. Bring your right foot back over to the edge of your mat and shift your hips over to the left. And then cross that left ankle over your right knee, if it's available, right? If it's not, it's not. And then we'll come back to center. We're going to bring those knees in and give them a nice squeeze left and right. Find a happy baby, grabbing for the outsides of your feet. And swaying left and right if that feels good. Maybe you pause in the center, pull down to your feet and push your feet up into your hands. Feel what that does to your back, how it creates that full imprint down to your sacrum. And then we'll close out our practice with a supine twist. So send that left leg long, we'll bring that right knee all the way in. And then bring your right knee over to the left. Maybe tucking those right toes behind your left knee if you want, and bringing your right arm out long. And then once you get into this pose, right, stop pushing. Right, this is one of those poses I was just talking about that teaches us to let go. Right, this isn't about making a shape. This is about finding it and then just letting go and letting it happen. Let time and gravity do the work. And we'll come back in the center. Bring your right knee in, bring your left knee in. Sway left and right. And then we'll send that right leg long, keep that left knee all the way in. And then allow that left knee to go over to the right. Tuck your left toes behind your right knee. Send your left arm long to the left. You're gonna find that twist and then again let go. Stop pushing, stop pulling. Just be. Just breathe. And then we'll come back into center. You're going to bring your knees back in. Give them a squeeze together. Maybe curling your forehead up to your knees. One last time, and you can roll up. We're going to finish our practice together in a seated pose. I'm going to scoot towards you so I can say goodbye to you. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Thank you. It's always such a joy to guide you in your practice, to share this gift that we have together. So I hope to see you all again soon, okay? Namaste. Mwah. Bye. Have a good day, everyone.